Digimon Ghost Game has done a ton of body horror in its run so far, but episode 43 just took the throne and became the episode to contain Ghost Game's most chilling body horror. And it did so via the return of a monster from the 2020 Digimon Adventure reboot, Eyesmon. But with a new power it didn't possess in that show, or at least didn't use on anybody in that show, this Eyesmon rips people's true eyes right off of their face, replaces them with red eyes, and then over time causes their body to grow new eyeballs all over their arms, necks, legs, etc. We got to meet a super fun and charismatic friend from Kiyoshiro's past, an American girl named Emma visiting the gang, only to watch her slowly become infected by Eyesmon's disgusting curse. Let's talk about it all in this episode. What do we consider Emma now after the events of this episode? She doesn't get a Digimon of her own when the dust settles, but she is now in a very exclusive club, one of the very few people on Earth who knows about Gammamon, Jellymon, and Angoramon. Welcome back to the Digino. We are so very close to 30,000 subscribers. I hate asking because it's so cliche here on YouTube, but every time I do ask you to subscribe, if you haven't already, you absolutely show up. You can see here over 100 people subscribed the last time I asked in a video. So if we get 100 people to hit subscribe, we will cross 30,000 today, which would be absolutely amazing. Thank you for the support over the past year. Now let's just get into the episode review. First thing we see is a girl in a dark room with multiple computer monitors, and I jumped up out of my chair at first because for a second I thought this was the scientist girl who captured Morphmon in episode 23, especially because I just put out a what if video that pitched a story about her returning, so I couldn't believe it. But to be clear, this is not that same girl. The scenery is very, very similar, but not the exact same. There's a bookshelf, multiple monitors, desk speakers, but her computer chair is completely different. The first girl had more of like a gamer chair, and this is more of a traditional computer desk chair, as well as their general hairstyles being completely different. It would have been cool to bring back that girl, even as just a little cameo Easter egg, but no, this is a different girl here. Kyo's old friend from America touches down at Haneda Airport just outside Tokyo. I love that Emma's first order of business in Japan is scoping out the Haneda washroom because she had heard that Japanese toilets and washrooms were amazing. This is literally the first thing I did when I went to Japan in 2018, so I thought it was super funny that the writers know that foreigners are all amazed by stories of Japanese toilets. She is attacked in the washroom by Eyesmon with her blue eyes pulled out of her head and replaced by creepy red eyes. It's absolutely disgusting, but it won't even be the grossest thing we see this week. Emma and Kiyo have a pretty complicated past. She's nosy to a fault and loves sharing her findings with the world on social media. He's convinced that if Emma finds out about the Digimon, she'll tell the whole world about Gammamon and the others. They take her to Akihabara, and it's really cool seeing the Ghost Game trio hanging out in real-world locations. Digimon Adventure and Digimon Tamers, for example, had a lot of real-world Tokyo on display. It was almost a love letter to the city, and to my knowledge, Ghost Game hasn't utilized the real-world touchstones of Tokyo all too much, at least not as much as the past seasons, so seeing them in real-world locations like Akihabara is always fun. Emma begins asking about Kiyo's potential girlfriend, but her prying triggers kind of an episode with the Eyesmon situation. She needs to run to the bathroom, and when she gets there, she starts itching the eyeballs that have formed on her neck and arms. It's so incredibly gross. Just imagine itching an eyeball. Whenever she looks at Kiyo, she senses a woman's presence, sometimes hears a woman's voice. She's hearing and sensing Jellymon, but she mistakes the clues as being signs of Kiyo's secret girlfriend. She thinks Kiyo has a brilliant programming girlfriend, and that explains why Kiyo's code is always so good. It's not because he's a great programmer, but it's because he's relying on some super talented girl he's hiding away from Emma. It's funny, and it contributes to the whole nosy theme of this episode, so it's all great. Ruli calls an emergency meeting. Emma mistakes Ruli for Kiyo's secret girlfriend, which is pretty fun, pretty funny. We come to learn that Eyesmon is preying on people who are naturally a bit nosy, who desire more information. He's gifting them additional eyes to help them see more, but also because their eyes are constantly feeding it information. It's this truly symbiotic relationship. The whole thing feels like a cool take on surveillance in the modern age and parasocial relationships, learning everything about someone you've never met just by inspecting their online presence. One of the girls is straight up following celebrity gossip online and following dating rumors. It feels very contemporary, very modern, and that's something I'm always looking for in Digimon stories. I like when Digimon explores the relationship between humans, especially teens, and technology. Ruli and Angoramon believe that people infected by Eyesmon will have their real eyes slowly fade away until their body eventually crumbles into pieces. Around this point, we discover that Emma is one such person infected by Eyesmon, as Ruli spots one of the eyeballs on her neck. In what I thought was quite a powerful moment for Ghost Game, the trio opens up to Emma and exposes the truth about their Digimon partners to her, just so that there are no secrets and they can get her the help she needs without having to dance around and hide their partners from her. It's pretty special seeing the kids be fully open with someone outside their core circle about Digimon and introducing their partners to another human. It feels like a big moment for the series series even if Emma never comes back. Eyesmon is gathering information by using Emma and others as cameras, so covering all the eyes on her body should cut off the information flow and force Eyesmon to expose itself. The plan works, and we battle Eyesmon with Wes and Gammamon, test the Jellymon and Angoramon. Eventually, Kane of Eyesmon's light surpasses dimensions, as they say, which was pretty intense, and blinds Eyesmon, causing it and other versions of itself to come out of hiding, only to be defeated as well. Eventually, Emma is cured of all the eyeballs on her body and has a great scene on the rooftop with the Ghost Game trio and their Digimon, where she finally gets to meet Jellymon. The three of them have some great banter. Emma even tries to kiss Kiyoshiro, but Jellymon butts in to stop it, claiming Kiyoshiro belongs to her. It's super fun. It's like that Willis scene on the bridge in the Digimon movie. Emma is Willis here trying to kiss a Digidestined, and Jellymon is our Davis, freaking out and getting all jealous. The whole episode is kind of a cautionary tale about sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, about not getting too deep into people's business, and honestly, this episode would probably scare a lot of kids into behaving and tone down their nosiness. Between the nightmare-inducing body horror we got via Eyesmon and the very likable Emma, this is one of my new favorite episodes. I had a great time with Ghost Game this week. Of course, let me know what you think. Did you love this one like I did, or do you find it was lacking something? Do you believe I'm wrong and that the girl at the start was actually the amateur scientist from episode 23 and I missed some obvious clue? Speaking of the scientist, I put out a midweek video that is a new what if story outlining a Ghost Game arc I came up with, where a dark Digidestined team was formed out of characters we've already met in past episodes of Ghost Game. Go check that out if you want to hear how I'd write an endgame arc for Ghost Game. I'll link to it in the description and on screen. If you're still watching, please subscribe if you haven't already. We could crack 30,000 subscribers this week or even today with your support. It's just one button click. It's super easy. Thank you, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.
I think we'll be